It's still Happy Hour with John Gaskins. This round's on me.
It's a red alert. It's a special emergency regrouping of the three-man weave Timberwolves Talk crew because, damn it, that was as exciting, amazing, and as Mr. Sunshine, Chris Johnson over here would say, dumbest comeback finish in the history of, basketball last night. And then Charles Barkley said the same thing, the dumb part, right after the Knicks beat the Spurs in an all-timer at Madison Square Garden. So why not bring back the crew to wrap our brains around that? Karl-Anthony Towns in this series, and maybe where the Wolves are headed with their roster to, maybe actually reach the finals sometime in our lives, just like the Vikings' endless, fruitless pursuit of the Super Bowl. So good to have you guys here at the old Orion Pub. Jon Oppold, co-owner of the Orion. Chris Johnson, University of Sioux Falls basketball coach. Thanks, guys. Has the boat gotten in the water yet, Chris?
No chance.
Oh, come on.
I mean, I spend every night at either a softball diamond or a baseball diamond, as you know.
Yeah.
With 4 kids. So, no, the boat hasn't got I haven't even thrown a lure in the water yet.
Okay.
But I'm going to change that in the next week, hopefully.
All right. Well, I'm rooting for you. But for now, and then I'm kind of like, when are my nights going to be free? You got these NBA Finals games. I can't miss those. Glad I didn't last night. We could talk about where we were. To be honest, 29-point comeback, greatest in NBA Finals history. That was, we can get into this topic, one of the most incredible shots to win an NBA Finals game or a huge basketball game of any consequence. Maybe we've seen in our lives with the Obi putback, or OG. Thank you. And one of the rare moments in my life now where, I get up from the couch, like one of those things that, wake up the neighborhood. We've both seen a lot of sports, especially you, coached thousands of basketball games. But I'll start with you, Chris, that 29-point comeback. As the Knicks are getting closer, 3-4 points. First time all evening I had texted you guys. In our group text, and I just said, wow, what an amazing effing game. And Chris's response was?
Just how stupid the Spurs were for a 20-minute stretch, which isn't surprising. Like, people are going to be really frustrated because we look at this through the Timberwolves lens, right?
Yeah.
You needed to get the Spurs when they were young and dumb and doing stuff like this because they will learn from this and be better next year and have a better chance to keep the Wolves from getting there again. That's what I see when it happens. It's not surprising to me that the Knicks made a game of it, but to lose that game took, I thought, more dumb plays on the Spurs' part than great plays by the Knicks.
Well, and that was kind of the way the post-game show started with Ernie and Kenny and Charles, plus Shaq and Draymond, who don't really need to be there. But anyway.
Shaq mailed it in. He's not even trying anymore on that show. That's just my opinion.
And then Draymond's trying too hard because that's kind of his MO. Yeah. But anyway, it leads off with Ernie saying the exact right thing. What the hell just happened? And Kenny goes right into what a great play or sequence by the Knicks on the final shot that Brunson shoots the three-pointer to win with like 4 seconds left. And when he shot that, I was kind of like, this is unusual. Wait a second. He's giving time for somebody to get the rebound and put it back in. And then it happens. And it's amazing. And Kenny was like, that's a championship play. And Charles is just interrupting him going, that's it? That's all you got? That's how we're ripping out of this gate? Because then Charles said the same thing you did. But I just thought it was, I agree with that the Spurs were really dumb. That's been a fairly universal take. What were your thoughts as you were watching this downtown last night?
Well, I think that the critical error is Fox, which he's the one that isn't the young one. He's the one that is supposed to be the veteran that knows what to do, and he takes that easy layup and gets stuffed when it's like, you just have to dribble out the clock, man. You're up. What are you doing? So, I think, like, from my perspective with basketball in general, I just feel like everyone had the Spurs because they saw them beat the Thunder, and they're like, oh, those were the two clear, top-tier teams. But I just feel like I mean, basketball in general, it's just not that way. I mean, maybe they're the two clear top-tier teams, but weird things happen. Teams get hot.
Momentum, as we talk about.
Yeah.
Right? It's real, and the Knicks have it.
Yeah.
And everything's closer than most people think. Like, to say that, like, I could say that if the Timberwolves are healthy, they got a good chance if they're hitting their shots and everything's going and, they're playing the way they're supposed to. So I just think that, I don't know, this series to me has shown that things are closer than people realize in the NBA.
Yeah.
People were saying, the Knicks, they don't have a chance. But I think when you have a team full of guys that try hard on both ends, and I think that's the difference, right? Like, there's no Julius Randle on the Knicks anymore. Every single guy plays defense and offense, I mean, from Jose Alvarado coming off the bench to Josh Hart to OG to, Brunson. I mean, even Brunson's guarding. Sort of. But I mean, more than a Julius Randle.
Right? More than
Hey, it's the finals.
Well, Karl-Anthony Towns. I mean, geez, he's been playing awesome defense by his standards against Wemby.
Yeah.
I mean, it's been a revelation, but it's like these guys have it in them.
Yeah. We'll get into, well, they should. It's the finals, but and that's why I always watch. When anybody who says they don't watch, don't like, hate the NBA, Chris and I have been over this 1,000 times. Well, you're missing out on the best basketball there is, in all of its flaws. It's all in all its 3-point shooting happiness and regular season, apathy. Like, at least watch the damn finals.
Foul baiting.
Foul baiting. Yeah, it's terrible. There are flaws, but then you get to see something amazing like this. And I do want to get back to the anatomy of the meltdown, but I still kind of want to zero in on that's one of the, like I said, with what was on the line. It's a finals game. That's one of the coolest, most amazing shots or ends to a game. Just the last sequence that I think. Well, I mean, you could even go back to the Fox missing the layup and shooting the layup and the block and all that before that, but that I've ever seen. And I don't know, like the first thing that came to mind was 1983 NC State, Lorenzo Charles dunking home Derek Whitmore's air ball in one of the most famous last plays, but also stories in college basketball and all of sports, because that was like the ultimate, not the ultimate, but it was mainly a Cinderella team taking down number 1 Phi Slamma Jamma. Anyway, like that's the closest I can think of. We've seen jump shots to win games, but a putback, an athletic putback like that with 1 second left, I can't think of anything better or more exciting, but that's why I brought you two guys in, maybe
I was
hyperbole.
thinking Christian Laettner.
Okay.
I know that's a shot, but
Yeah.
it seemed as improbable. I mean,
Yes.
you throw it cross court, he grabs it, turns around,
Yeah.
jacks up a goofy shot, and it goes in.
Yeah.
I'm
That's
going to be
great.
a massive buzzkill for you.
Okay.
Tips are lucky to some degree.
That's fine. I don't care if they're lucky.
And so, like, he gets it, and he kind of just swats at it.
Yeah.
And it goes in. Like,
Yeah.
that doesn't take skill. So, but it took the wherewithal to, again, De'Aaron Fox goes to double a guy at 35 feet for no reason. Like, I could pick out 9 plays with Fox in the second half.
Yeah.
I don't know if him and Brendan Sorsby have the same agent or what, but that's what it looked like.
Yeah.
And I know that's not fair, and that's not the case. And I would cut De'Aaron Fox more slack if I didn't hear his post-game interview where he was like, yeah, I went for a layup. Why wouldn't I? Like, he just wouldn't own it at all.
Yeah.
But that tip, like, OG was smart enough to go. Josh Hart would have went. I'm not sure Cat would have went. I don't know if Brunson, if he doesn't have the ball, goes to the glass like that. But those dirty work guys, that's just natural for them to go. And it was a heck of a play, but it wasn't, it wasn't Marcus Page for North Carolina tying up Villanova with the double clutch 3, and then Villanova hitting a 35-footer.
Well,
3 seconds later to win the game, that kind of a
That was
deal.
the second finals/March Madness or Final Four shot it wasn't quite. It was 1 second, but basically buzzer beater to win. That again, that was still. I mean, 35 feet. That's a harder shot to hit technically. I'm just talking about from pure visceral, reactive jaw drop. Like holy bleep. I just can't think of too many more moments in sports at the end of a game with a championship on the line where that something like that exciting happened. But
It's funny.
we all have recency bias.
And you talk about Cat. Speaking of Cat So he did something like this. Game 7 against the Nuggets. His last, I think, run on the Wolves, where there was like 30 seconds left, and he had a tip dunk. Game was on the line. Game 7. So that's kind of the thing, though, right? I mean, this is why teams win is you have guys committed for the whole game, So somebody misses a shot, you got rim runners, you got people going hard right at the last second after they played all game. I mean, I think to me that was the thing the Wolves were missing in their series against the Spurs, just like the effort. Yeah. And some of it was injury, but some of it was just like Randall loafing. Yeah. I think that's what you need. I mean, that's what you're seeing. If you're going to beat a really good, talented young team, you got to match their energy.
Yeah. Okay, Chris, back to the stupidity of the Spurs. I think it's been well noted, Charles noted it. They're up by 25, 28 points. They're taking 8 threes in a row at one point. They're not really slowing things down, milking the shot clock. One knock that I don't know if you agree with is Wemby wasn't getting enough rest, and he was petered out by the end of the game. Yes, you're a coach, so how much of this is on Mitch Johnson?
So he absolutely played Wemby too much, and I have made that mistake more than once.
Yeah.
So I haven't even learned from it. Because you want that game. You have to have that game. You have to get it to 2-2 to win this, to have a chance to win the series, in my opinion.
Yeah.
And so your best player, you don't want to take him off the floor even when you're up by 30. It's hard. Yeah. Especially when you're a new head coach who hasn't been burned by that yet. I mean, I totally have sympathy for him.
29,
I know,
15,
but I'm
Yeah,
okay. But we're in South Dakota talking about this man's decision.
Yes.
In a bar.
Yes.
On the next day at 2:00.
Yes.
He knows that without but consciously, everything he does is nitpicked.
Yeah.
To a level that none of us can understand.
Probably.
Right? And so that part I totally understand.
Yeah.
The 8 threes in a row, none of them were bad shots. Oh. And they were going in before.
Yeah, they were.
And so that is revisionist history, one way or the other.
14 to 26 first half, 3 of 17.
Let's say they go 3 for 8 right there. Game's over.
Yeah.
And so I do understand that. My issue is when you're at number 6 and they haven't gone, there's no reason to take 7 and 8.
Yeah.
It isn't the first couple. It isn't, we can only take layups. They did need to slow it down. They also, it's the NBA. They had their massive run, and it wasn't built on great play. It was built on great shooting. And those never last as long as the ones that are built on great play.
Yeah, law of averages.
Yeah, and so I wasn't shocked that it became a game. I was shocked that somehow you can't find a way to win when you're up 29.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. I guess, was it more – because Charles is right. The other team has to participate in a 29-point comeback. But do you still think this was more Knicks' amazing comeback or Spurs screwing the pooch?
I mean, I think it has to be a little bit of both.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I mean, that's the way it goes. I think it's no offense, John. I know you get all pissy when I say these things, but it's
I can't wait to hear what's coming.
Those are media narratives, right?
Yes, of course.
Yeah.
It's fun. It's a fun topic.
Did they lose or did the other team win?
Yeah.
It's like
both.
Yes.
Yes.
Both.
We all know
you know what I mean?
Yes, and here's my response. We all know it was both. What was it more of? That's more fun.
How do we want to spin it? Yeah. I would say it's I don't know if it's more of it either.
Yeah.
28 points, that's a colossal choke job.
Yeah.
But coming back from 28 points is a colossal comeback. I mean, I don't think it can be.
Who are you rooting for?
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And
There you go.
The lens you're going to watch it.
That's the difference.
Yeah.
Right. So I think it's so much of both. I mean, it reminded me of. I mean, people are sharing memes online of, hey, there's Spurs New Jerseys, and it's got a Falcons logo on it. That's what it reminded me of,
great.
you know?
Yes, yeah.
So,
it was something else. And in the, by the way, I don't know where you guys were or who you were with. Those are always fun little stories. I'll be honest. I watched most of the first quarter. It's like 41-20 after one, and I'm just kind of like, okay, well, I'm turning the sound off. I'm going to listen to something else. My entire attention's not going to be on this anymore. And then My husband got home late, wanted to eat dinner, and has no care at all in this NBA Finals game. But it's halftime, and I'm kind of like, well, in most cases I would be a little, can we eat this while we watch the game? But I was kind of like, I'm not missing anything. And if they come back, okay, well then we'll be done by the time. And I got done when I got done, it was like 9. I'm like, oh, okay, well. I've missed the start, but now we got the finish. You were at home
Until he wasn't.
Until you weren't.
I was doing. I had dad duties. I was trying to take care of being a dad, and it's same as you.
Yeah.
I looked. It was, I don't know, 20 to 40 something when I looked the first time. That was when I could have feasibly started watching the game, and I'm like, oh, blowout.
Yeah.
Who cares? And then looked back, it was probably, I don't know, start of the fourth quarter, and it was down to like 15. Yeah. And I'm like, you know what? I'm going to go out and watch the game. Everybody else is asleep, so came downtown. I watched the last part of the game by myself at a bar, but there were other people. Yeah. It was pretty, kind of scattershot because it was a Wednesday night.
With a cigar and a beverage.
I went to Stogie's to have a cigar because that's what I wanted to do. And yeah, it's fun.
Can't imagine what it was like here in the old Orion Pub.
I should have came here.
I do too. I completely regret it because this is your best place to watch Timberwolves games and NBA Finals. I mean, when it's a big sporting event, there's going to be some people here, and it's going to be a blast. Chris, home, kids?
So boring. Yeah, I had baseball and softball.
But did you watch it the whole way
I did.
through?
Well, I watched the whole first half.
Yeah.
Because my son wanted to. And so we watched it, and then I didn't watch any of the third quarter. And then maybe 3-4 minutes into the fourth, I got a text from Jack Nelson. We were texting about something else. He's like, are you watching the game? Or he made some comment about somebody making a dumb play. I'm like, dude, I stopped watching that. He's like, you might want to turn it back on. It's 9 now or whatever. And so I did. I mean, I watched the rest of it then. But I couldn't tell you one play that happened in the third quarter.
Okay.
I did not watch.
Yeah.
I didn't see any.
I'm not invested enough to care. And when it got to 28, I'm like, I'm good.
But as it built back 9-4 to, you're just like, whoa! I can't believe what's happening. That's what's fun about sports. That's why it's still probably the best entertainment there is, and why we're sports fans, because a lot of games kind of blend together, and then you have that one last night.
Yet there are still people who will argue that momentum's not real.
Oh, yeah.
I would love to have a conversation with those coaches. Just turn on that film and be like, oh, there's my argument.
By the way, my favorite, to just capture that whole big lead, we all eventually came around and watched the end, but a lot of people, I'm sure a lot of America tuned out and then tuned back in. My favorite thing that captures all of it was Larry David is sitting in the front row. And they showed highlights later on where a couple seats down from him, the guy that was sitting next to Kirk Herbstreit. I mean, we could talk about the celebrities for 20 minutes, but Kirk, because all of them were there. But
the only one who could afford
there's some random dude who's not famous sitting in between Larry David and Kirk Herbstreit. And he turns around when the Knicks are down by like 25 and they hit a 3, so it's just like, oh, now they're only down by 22. And Larry's, of course, sitting there all grumpy. And then the guy comes up to him and goes, hey, and trying to give Larry David a high five. And Larry David's just, get out of here. Stop. He's like so annoyed. I'm not high fiving you. We're getting our ass kicked. Get out of here. Shoos him away. And then later on in the game, show Larry David going crazy with everybody else. Yeah. John McEnroe, as it turned out, who he was sitting with. And I'm just happy for Taylor Swift. I really, lifelong Knicks fan. So glad she got to be there for that moment and celebrate it. Cordell's saying, I hate these people. I've loved it. These last 2 games, the pregame coverage with all the celebrity watching, I know it's silly, but
You got some tabloid in you, don't you?
I do. It's fun. Because I'm like, who's the real fan here? I know Chris Rock's a real fan. Spike Lee's a real fan. Ben Stiller's a poser. Anyway. I know. I mean,
I'm not going to question anyone's fandom. I just don't really care. That's where I go with it.
It's been kind of nice to see Celebrity Row, and it's not a Lakers game. You know what I mean?
I thought it was cool
because I'm like,
yes.
I've had it with the Lakers, man. It's enough.
Yeah, and this is and by the way, I did think that this, and the ratings have shown it. I think Game 3 was the highest rated NBA Finals game since a Michael Jordan game in 1996.
Okay.
Like 23 million average. So and I think that has a lot to do with the Knicks.
The basketball scene.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can't argue that.
So it's
Yeah.
very cool to watch them. But what were you guys thinking the first two games when Cat was dominating Wemby? And it appeared, and I texted Chris about this, and it appeared the Knicks were going to win and Cat was going to be the MVP. Clearly, and you can break it down, Chris, there has been some coaching going on to obviously take that away. Cat was disappeared in Game 3 in that loss, and I don't think he was a major factor in the comeback win last night.
He had 13 and 10 last night.
What are you thinking as you're watching Cat with the
Double-double.
Knicks in the finals?
Good point.
As a diehard Wolves fan who wasn't exactly the biggest Cat fan.
Yeah, no, I'm not a big fan of his at all. But I will always add the caveat, seems like a great guy.
Yes.
So it's not a personal thing. I just don't like watching him play basketball because he whines all the time. He's got that Luka gene where he just complains about every call. He was awesome. He was outplaying Wemby, but he also didn't score in the fourth quarter of the first 3 games of the series. I'm assuming he did last night. I didn't pay that close attention. It couldn't have been too much if he did. So I think it was a little overblown at how great he was playing. But if he's here, then Naz or Jaden are not.
Yes.
One or both. They could not
reality.
afford them.
Yes. Right.
And then you don't have a guy like Dante. You can't trade for Io at all because of just the aprons and the rules, the way they were. Like, half your team's not here now. Yeah. I don't know, man. Like, would you trade Jaden McDaniels straight up for Cat if they made the same amount of money? That's a fair question.
That's tough. That's a tough
5
one.
years ago would have been very obvious, right? It would have been Cat.
Right.
And so
Depends on what the other pieces are, too. Same amount. Cordell goes, you would?
Sure, but you had to think about it, right? Like 5 years ago, it would have been really simple. 3 years ago, let's say.
Are you kidding me?
And so I think he's played well. I'm happy for him. Like, I'd rather see him win it than Wemby.
Yeah.
Wemby's cheap, dirty, whatever words you want to use. Like, I'm over him.
And he's getting away with it.
Yes.
Damn NBA.
Yeah,
Let him
I mean,
get
he
away
sh-
with it.
he
should
should
have
be
been
suspended
for
already.
the elbow, man. I
Yeah.
said it.
And then he did it again Game 3, and he did it again last night. Like, he's cheap. So it's easy to root for Cat, I guess is what I'm saying, which anyone who knows me is going, yeah, right, because I'm not a fan.
I said we were having this exact discussion. I was with Zimmer 2 days ago, and I mentioned you, and he's just like interrupted me. He's like, I don't need to hear Chris's opinion. He hates Cat. So,
Right. Yeah. Well, yeah, I mean, I didn't like him. But I also think he's played well, and the guys around him have played better than the guys around Ant have played.
Yeah, well, no kidding.
Period.
Well, and you're letting reality get in the way. It's nice to go into this. It's nice.
Media stuff
It's nice. It's nice to immediately.
What's the narrative?
Well, look, you have the first thoughts that come to mind, and then that's when you bring in people who know what they're talking about, which is why I bring you guys in, because some of the first thoughts I had before thinking about the fact that you couldn't be able to afford Cat and Ant and everybody, was, gee, it's just, oh, now he gets it. Now the light comes on, and he's matured, and he defers, and he has 7 assists in each of the first 2 games, and he's taking it to the rack. He's using his 7-foot strong frame inside, actually, in important moments in games against one of the maybe the toughest matchup in the league. But he could never quite do that at the right times most of the time with the Timberwolves. And then you could be mad at, well, who got him to do that? Well, I guess Mike Brown. Why couldn't Chris Finch get it? But that's all just fun, alternate universe, hypothetical stuff. It doesn't mean that, we wish Cat were still with the Wolves and he would have dominated Wemby and they would have won that series and they'd be in the finals.
They wouldn't have beat the Nuggets.
No.
Yeah.
Jaden won that series.
Yeah,
Right.
there you go.
And they maybe don't even get to the same point, but go ahead.
And if Cat plays how he's playing now against the Nuggets, maybe they do, because he's going to the rim more. I heard on another podcast, a Timberwolves podcast, where they were talking about they think that Cat matured greatly during the second Tibbs era. Because he kind of had to swallow his pride a little bit. Because the first Tibbs era, I mean, Cat was treated like garbage, by Tibbs. Tibbs was a big Jimmy Butler stan, and they treated Cat like he was a pussy and just like a total.
At 22 years
At
old.
22 years old, face of the franchise, they treated him like garbage. It was something that was awful. You shouldn't do that. You know, it's definitely not a Chris Finch-esque way of managing egos.
The famous Jimmy Butler MF practice.
Yes.
Yeah.
And Tibbs was all Jimmy Butler, and that blew up in his face, and it was malpractice, I say.
Ooh.
But anyway, Cat was traded back to that coach, and he swallowed his pride, and he's kind of like figured out a way to fit in. I think one reason why the Knicks can do what they do as well was Brunson. Didn't he take a discounted contract?
Very much so.
To kind of have this run and look what happened.
Like $100 million less than he could have made.
Okay,
Yeah.
13.
Over the long
What I heard was $13 million a year.
Right,
Yeah.
over,
Yeah.
So maybe
yeah.
not 100.
But
still,
$13 million
that's-
a year.
$13 million is Io or Dante DiVincenzo,
Right.
or another good player, or
Yeah.
2 rookies. Wow. Here's one thing I want to add that when you bring up the MF practice, this is the greatest part. This is why I root for Cat right now. Andrew Wiggins has a ring already from Golden State.
Yeah.
If Cat can get one now, Jimmy's never winning one.
No.
That's true.
So I hope someone writes that article or brings that up to Jimmy, because how he acted was insanely idiotic. Like just childish and all that. No, he's proven that everywhere he's ever gone. It's
true.
He's going to freak out on Golden State at some point.
And he was, 29 then? I mean, he was old enough to know better. The thing about Jimmy Butler is he's always wanted to be Michael Jordan when it's like, dude, you're not even Scotty. You know? So he could be and everybody's like, oh, playoff Jimmy Butler. And I'm like, yeah, I get it. He had that one year where they went to the finals. But, I mean, other than that, I don't know.
Wasn't that in the bubble, too, on top of it?
I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The asterisk gear, yes.
Yeah.
We'll land the plane here with the Wolves now, because the other two very simple reasons why they didn't win that series with the Spurs: they were unhealthy. You didn't have Dante. Ant's playing at about 50%. Nas was hurt a little bit, right?
Mm-hmm.
The shoulder. Io
time.
was a little banged up. I mean, they all get banged up this late in the season. Hardly anybody's playing at 100%, but that was more of a mass unit than most. And then of course it was just the play of Julius Randle, which plenty of great adjectives could be used. The guy that was in the trade with or for Cat. But now, I mean, we kind of went through this when they lost, but now we've seen what it takes to get to the finals. The Knicks are on the precipice of winning them. And there's been some chatter, if you read close enough Wolves articles or podcasts. I can't believe you listened to another one. You don't just listen to it. Yeah.
I gotta get my Dane Moore fix.
I'm kidding. I knew it.
Yeah.
I knew it.
With Britt Robson, too?
Oh, yeah.
But Dane Moore does not have these two folks. What now to surround Ant and make sure that the Wolves will make that NBA Finals window within the next 2 or 3 years, starting next year?
Well, I think what the Knicks are showing is you need athletic wings that can defend. I think they need someone who's more of there's not traditional point guards, not really a thing anymore. There's not that many of them, but you need a combo guard that's more facilitator and playmaker than scorer. And who that is, I don't know, but a guy that can kind of make it happen. People have pointed to Kyrie. I don't think that's going to happen. I think that he's too injury prone, but guys that are gettable, maybe like a DeJounte Murray or like a Tyler Hero or something. I mean, you trade, if you get off of Randall, because I think that's addition by subtraction. I don't think he fits. I think he loafs too much. He was a big baby after his name was brought up in trade talks. I just don't think he fits. I think you get rid of some of these guys that are holding back the pace too. I think they re-sign Io. But yeah, I think there's going to be a big retooling. I would not trade Naz Reid or Jaden McDaniels. Tim Connolly talks about their sub 25 core, which is Ant, Jaden, Naz, and Baron J. Those are the 4 guys you kind of build around, and I think everyone else is fair game, even if that means you got to trade Rudy and just kind of take the hit of defense is worse, but you're hoping offense kind of makes up for that. I think that's kind of that. Tim Connolly is like an evil genius here, so I'm sure he'll come up with some wacky-ass trade for some guys you were like, I didn't think they would be available, and then you roll with it. I don't know. I think 2 months from now, maybe even a month from now, it's like Summer League a month from now, I bet you a month from now, the team's going to look a lot different. That's my own opinion.
Yeah, I agree. Here's what I think. I think Naz Reid has to be your starting 4.
Yep.
And after that, everything's fair game. Because, and I mean, including Jaden and Ant. I think they need a point guard. I am getting closer and closer to being okay with John Morant. I really am. Wow. And anyone who knows me, again, would think that's crazy.
Yeah.
But here's why. You cannot have the ball in Ant's hands all the time. For this reason, you can't play fast because he doesn't want to.
Right.
He talks about it. It's very easy when you watch. He does not want to play with pace, so you have to get the ball out of his hands some. Mm-hmm. And maybe DeJounte Murray can do it, but he's coming off a couple pretty big injuries. He's right around that 30 years old. It's a little bit scary. I don't know who it is, but I also know I don't think it's going to be Kyrie for this reason. You've heard all this smoke on Twitter and everywhere else here the last 3 days. When they traded for Rudy and when they traded Cat, did you ever hear a thing before it came out?
No.
Tim Connolly doesn't talk to people about what's going on, and they run a pretty tight ship.
Yeah.
So I agree with you. It's going to be somebody
Out of left
that
field.
we're not really thinking of, or just that it won't be this constant clamoring for, hey, I think it's going to be this guy. And you don't hear about them and Ja anymore, and it's a really easy trade to include Julius Randle in that deal. Now, it's still going to cost you more than him because Julius tanked his worth in the playoffs probably. But, man, I'm more and more just would like to see another ball-handling guard with Ant.
Wow, reckless speculation based off of connecting the dots. You should be in the media, sir. No, but
Coming for your job as soon as they fired me.
But that makes a lot of sense. It does make a lot of sense. All right, so our Knicks, I think most people would think, I'm guessing or predicting, I haven't heard predictions, but Spurs will come back and win Game 5. They'll have a spirited effort, home crowd, and then Knicks finish them in Game 6. Do you guys think that will happen? Or do you have a surprise? Do we have a surprise up our sleeves?
I don't think.
Or is this
I think
so unpredictable?
Well, the odds are, they're not going to win 3 in a row. So I think Knicks will win. Does it happen in 6 or 7 or 5? I don't have a prediction there. Okay. I think anything can happen. I mean, you've seen it. These games, it's like, the Knicks won the first 2 in San Antonio. So, I mean, they're totally capable.
They are.
I got an exact prediction. They lose the next game. They win in MSG in Game 6.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah.
Sure,
Home game wins. Desperate Spurs, Knicks finish off.
But would it surprise you at all if the Spurs, being as immature as they've been and as young as they acted last night, come back home and can't get out of their own way?
Maybe.
In such a big game? It would not shock me at all.
No.
Now, I am a little bit of a conspiracy theorist when it comes to the NBA with who wins the lottery and all. Who do you think's going to be the head referee in that game? The extender.
Scott.
I was going to say
they're going to bring Scott Foster in, and they're going to make sure that it gets back to to Madison Square Garden somehow.
Yeah. Have they said that on the Dane Moore podcast yet? I bet you they haven't.
No, they have not. No, they talk about the Timberwolves. So
Okay. I would talk if I were them. I would talk about the finals today, just because. My God. Well, we did. Screw them. And by the way, I don't know. I totally forgot. You got anything else?
That's a great way to wrap it up.
Oh, by the way, I forgot. And Cordell's like, thank God, he forgot a thought. We can get out of here. So for Chris and for John, Trent Singer, our gallery over there, video producer Cordell, right? The Orion. If you want to come on down, watch the finals. Saturday night, the Knicks could finish it all in San Antonio.
And enjoy a nice cold beer.
That's right. Cheers.
You need anything else, John?
No, I think I'm good, Greg. I think I'm going to tap out.
All right. Have a good night.